I see lots of lovely people in the audience, and I can see already people gathering on the other platforms. Amazing. And we haven't even started. Looks like my audio is clear, and we should be ready to start. Shall we? Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
And we're live. We're live on Twitch, media.network, YouTube, and of course on the Discord stage. And today we're joined by Adam from GROMs, an amazing NFT that is minting tomorrow. Welcome, Adam. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I mean, you're a very good friend of Grave. It's not the first time we talk, so I feel very close to you, to the project, and consider me a fan. Although we don't really do these AMAs to endorse any projects, Groms is a very special project that I hold very close to my heart. I know Dean, who's sitting next to me, also thinks the same. So I'll try to be as unbiased as possible, but yeah, consider me a fan.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here, Chris. We've got to interact some over the Great DAO conversations, but it's been limited to that because we're both obviously busy. I just know, like, from watching your videos for so long, I know, like, if you and I had met when I was maybe a little bit younger, we'd gotten in a lot of trouble together, and it would have been a lot of fun.
Awesome to hear, man. Yeah, younger is the key here. I might look a bit younger on camera, but yeah, trust me, I've got my years as well. But yeah, today's talk is all about Groms. Is about meeting you, understanding the plans, and your general view on the Solana NFT craze, and yeah, what's the evolution gonna be like? But let's start from the beginning. Tell us about you, your background. How did you end up in Solana, and how did you end up creating an NFT project?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've worked professionally in crypto for a few years now. I have a whole story of finding out about Bitcoin and then not buying any, and then finding out about it two or three more times before I bought some, and wishing I'd bought it earlier, like we all have. But I've worked in a startup, crypto startup, and I started doing like QA, and then I moved into product. And I have a number of years of startup experience at different size companies. Um, and yeah, I was uh, I was interested in Bitcoin, and then like Ethereum never really hit for me. Um, you know, I just didn't quite get it. I messed around with CryptoKitties a bit, but it was all very like clunky, and I just didn't understand. Like I understand, like the features were really cool, but I didn't understand as a product person how it was going to scale. And so I just kind of retreated back into Bitcoin, and just hung out with a lot of maxis, uh, who I still consider a lot of friends. Like I still have a lot of friends that are Bitcoin maxis. But then like I don't know, it was a couple of years ago that Kevin Rose had Anatoly on his podcast. And it was not even the podcast he has now. It was I've been trying to find the episode, but he was talking to Anatoly while Solana was like in early development. And I think just like part of it was like the charisma of Anatoly, right? Like I think we're all attracted to like his attitude about a lot of things. But hearing that he clearly like knew what he was doing about designing these systems, like I'm certainly no engineer on that level, but I could understand what he was talking about, and it made sense. And then so like I forgot about it, and maybe I guess about a year and a half ago I started looking. It just kind of I remembered it, or something caught my eye about it again, and I went looking for Solana. Like, where could I find it? Yeah, and so I got involved around then, and I was hanging out in the Solana Discord. There's times where like hours would go by and nobody would say anything because so so low attendance. And then Twitter started to pick up a little bit, and I started to see some of you great guys, and as the ecosystem started to take off, and Yeah, I've just been involved trying to find my place in the ecosystem since then because I think this is like it really does fulfill the vision that we all wanted Ethereum to be. And I'm really excited to have been a part, like to be able to watch and in some ways partake at this
So
beginning
you've
point.
seen the evolution, the whole evolution. You've been lurking in the Solana Discord since there was no activity. That's pretty amazing. So you've seen the whole space grow from zero to hero, right?
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of building before I came along too, right? You know, the Solana team's been working on this for a long time. So yeah, and I just I just feel lucky more than anything. Like I know a little bit about technology and how it works, but I'm not like I was just really lucky, and I think definitely a right place, right time thing. So, but yeah, it's been a pleasure to like just watch it all grow and
Yeah,
be
aren't we
here.
all very lucky, right?
Yeah,
Just by being
absolutely.
here, by the virtue of being here and having this talk, yeah, we have been all of us. We've been super blessed with exactly what you said, the right place at the right time, for sure. And I
Yeah,
really remember that podcast that you mentioned from Kevin Rose. It was heavily focused on performance, and it was inspiring. Anatoly really looked like he knew what he was talking about. Although I watched it quite late, I have to admit. Um, So you've been around, man. That's good to
yeah,
hear. It's always important to like. Everybody's more bullish when any of the builders, any of the team involved has experience in the crypto world, has survived through the volatility, the trends, and has at least made some of the correct choices that allowed them to survive. So yeah, a big asset, big asset. Who else is with you on GROMs?
So I have the artist on our team is Deebs. You can find him on Twitter. I'm partially doxxed, right? You'll see my face and stuff, and you'll know my first name. But Deeb stays anonymous, but he's still around. You'll hear his voice in the GROMs Discord. Our developer's a little lower profile, Mikoze. Deebs and I go back a long time ago, and he's an artist that's been working professionally for over 15 years. Um, and we've worked in tech together. We haven't worked in a while together, and he reached out to me because he wanted to learn more about NFTs they're kind of blowing up on other chains, right? And I was like, I'm telling you, like, if you want to get involved in this stuff, and you trust my judgment, I'm telling you, Solana is going to be the place to be. And so he came over and we started, brainstorming on what we could do to get him involved. And Mikoze is a developer that I've worked with in professional settings for a number of years. He's just an amazing front end developer, but he really is like one of those rare full stack developers that can knock out code wherever you need it to be, whether it's on the server, on the website, and soon on the Solana blockchain, right?
Yeah, very promising to have a technical person you really trust to build with you. Um, have you been inspired by some other community, some other NFT, or what kind of made you get to where you are with Groms today? Like,
Sure.
what paved the path? You know?
Yeah, I think initially, like when we started brainstorming on this and thinking through it, it was just the beginning of Solana NFTs. I think maybe Solarians were on their way out. They had like a long term, they had a rollout that took a while. Um, and so what we were kind of reaching back for is like I wasn't there, but we were trying to find out what was CryptoPunks like, right? Back when it was not this huge sensation where these are worth millions of dollars. We were trying to figure out like what was that community like. And from my understanding, and I have to like just be upfront that this is just like what little research I've been able to find. Like it was a really like kind of chill community, right? Where people were there because they were interested in the idea of this like generative art and NFT. Like, that was like it was all a new thing. And so what you had is like these long-term holders that stuck around because like they enjoyed the community, and it wasn't at the time then for them about like flipping for profit and things like that. And that's really kind of what we're inspired by. Like we want a place where people are like they're finding a home in GROMs, that they can like grow and build and learn. Um, and so I don't know if there's like beyond that, I don't know if there's a whole lot. I'm really impressed by a lot of the NFT projects that have come on Solana, obviously, but I've also looked into like a lot of other interesting crypto communities. I think Raid Guild on Ethereum is really interesting. They kind of work as like a almost like a decentralized Web3 contract shop. That's really intriguing to me, and I think maybe hopefully we can explore that space in the future. And then DAOs in general, like seeing how groups organize themselves, seeing what being a part of the Grape DAO has been really inspiring and fun, and so yeah, I guess that's my
So it's
my
mostly
long way.
you're gonna focus on the social aspect, on the educational, in the crypto, general crypto aspect, and it's going to be a place where people socialize. Are you planning on something that has to do with gamification, something to do with anything that has the new trends, the social-fi, game-fi, and all these new words that we're learning?
Yeah, we we really like to me I think about it at a very core like a core level, right? Like there's all these features of a community that are interesting at face value, right? Like whether it's airdrops or building a game or morphing your NFT. Those are all interesting, right? But to me, I think kind of like at the beginning or at the core, what's going to build a community that is like has a strong core. And so I think a lot about like the incentive systems that I see uh, throughout crypto, right? And so I think to me, like really seeding the community with this incentive system that incentivizes like building and learning and really like taking part in this amazing opportunity we all have, right? Um, and so like what we're looking into is like initially like as the GROMs mint goes on, we're going to reward and incentivize people that are here to that want to learn and take active participation in the community and build. And then beyond that, what we're going to build is a badging system where people can earn almost like I don't know how pervasive like Cub Scouts are, but in the States like it's a youth organization uh, where kids can learn camping skills and all sorts of stuff, and they earn their badges. But this is going to be like a badge system for people that want to build in the open metaverse. And so that's going to be whether it's creative skills, developer skills, and eventually things like how to be like a good DAO governance participant, because that's going to become only more in demand as more and more DAOs are spinning up. And then like, I think there's a lot of things that interest me and interest the team intrinsically, like philosophy and value systems. Um, so that's where we're gonna, excuse me, that's where we're gonna focus a lot of our initial efforts. But ultimately, like the community that shows up is gonna inspire the long term vision and like help us build the road to get there.
Awesome, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Honestly, if you manage to execute and get the right people to populate your ranks, then it's guaranteed success. It's attracting the right people. That's always hard.
Yeah, I agree. It's really hard in this ecosystem, right? Because there's something cool every day, right? And I've certainly been with them the spirit, right? There's so many amazing things going on, and you don't want to miss out. But we really need to, like, I think to really take full advantage of the system, we all need to kind of find our focus and the way we do that is find like what's important to us, what's our meaning, and from there we can like start to find the focus that keeps us, engaged. And so it's just a matter of finding those people and then giving them a place where they can like build on that and like a home base, right? Like, yeah, I might go make sure my investments are good or in a good place, make some adjustments, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna work on this project that I'm building.
Tell us a little bit about the details of GROMs. Like, tell us, like, if you had to give an elevator pitch to someone, what is GROMs? When is GROMs? How many is
Mhm.
GROMs? Give us all the details for those that are here unprepared.
Yeah. So the numbers are there's 11,992 GROMs. They're
Very
going to be
interesting number. Can you elaborate on that?
yeah. So 10,000 is kind of the standard. I mean, like that's the CryptoPunk standard. So recently, the market has dictated much lower numbers. The reason we chose 11,992 is because 1992 is the year that the term metaverse was coined in the book Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. But ultimately the number is a larger number than I think like what we're seeing now is because we're here for the long term, right? And this community is all about inclusivity. It's not about building an exclusive club where we're going to have events that people are, jealous and willing to pay crazy sums of money to be involved in. We want people across the world to be a part of this, be a part of GROMs if they want to be.
And minting tomorrow, 19th of November at 11 o'clock p.m. UTC, right?
Right, 2300 UTC. That's correct.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the price is half a sol.
Half a sol.
Is there any particular thoughts on why you chose that price and what like the way you're describing it? You're not aiming of a quick sellout. You expect the mint to stay open, right? Because you said from your words, that's what I understood. Correct me if I understood something wrongly.
No, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing that I think we don't talk about, right? With a lot of these NFT sales, right? If the price is low enough and the supply is low enough, and that enough of the market thinks that there's speculative value, those supplies largely get bought up by flippers and bots, and those are not the customers that I'm looking for. We're looking for people that want to come by and be a part of this community. And we know there's 1 million active Phantom wallets, right? I think that's the number they just celebrated. So we're going to go find, out of those 1 million, we're going to go find the 11,992 people that want to come learn and build with the GROM community.
So this is not you wouldn't advise anybody to buy this and just for the flippability, let's say. Your advice is come build with us, join our community. Don't look at this as an investment. Is this correct? Like you're not catering to those purchasing the floors, the NFT floors, and creating hype and squeezing the price to extreme levels.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I know this is it's very different than what people are used to hearing from NFT projects. We're here to build something great with the community. Like the core team, we just want to seed and help usher this thing into the hands of the community. So, but I think if we build the right community together, I think in a few years, everyone is going to want to be a part of GROMs. The same way that people are now want to be a part of the other NFT communities that have been around with provenance. So yeah, if you're looking for a flip, you're not the customer. Like you're not our customer.
Very honest. I appreciate it, and I'm sure lots of people are appreciate that your target holder and you are not focusing on the price go up aspect.
Yeah, that's how you build something great, right? Like, if we want to turn a quick profit, I wouldn't be doing this. It's just not in me.
I was planning on asking you about the saturation of the PFP space and how GROMs is different, but I think your previous you just answered that. So this is very different from every other NFT we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's saturated in a way in that we've seen a lot of like, um, I don't want to deride any projects because I can't keep up with them, so I don't know what's at their core, but we are saturated. I think in if I can speak to like speculative NFTs, but that is like such like I think that's the what we as a community should think about is like that they are more than that, right? Like NFTs can be so much more than that, and we know that too already, right? Like Star Atlas like has made is building a game, and obviously other games are being built with NFTs. There's so much interesting idea space to explore with NFTs that yeah,
Yeah,
I think it gets lost
totally
in
agree,
the mix.
totally agree. But I would argue that we are still in the beginning, that we're still searching for the right recipe on the royalty side, on the art side, on the community side, on the we just like in CryptoKitties era, we didn't have the right protocol even. We didn't have the market was not ripe, the people were not ready, the ideas were not there. I still think we have a lot of trial and error in front of us, and we're gonna the final version is going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. If we spend our and this is my like my call to arms, right? Like if we spend our time completely set in speculative flipping NFTs, like Facebook is going to build the metaverse and they're going to own it. The NFTs like allow us to create value, I think, and give us the people like us, the people, the decentralized people of the world, right? They give us the leverage and power to build the metaverse that will benefit a larger demographic of people versus like Facebook shareholders or Google shareholders or Apple shareholders, right? And that's why this is important to me. That's part of the reason why it's important to me. Um, but yeah, rant over.
So totally agree, totally agree. What where is the art coming from? Where was the inspiration from, and the name? Could you tell us a little bit more about how did you come
Yeah,
up
I'd love to.
with those?
I wish Deeves was here so he could talk about it because he articulates it much better than I do. But it was clear that there's like uh, early on there was inspiration around like surf culture, just baked into the Solana, like kind of the style of Solana, like all its print design and things like that. Clearly, a number of the original Solana core team were surfers, including Anatoly. Um, and obviously, Solana Beach is a real place that exists in California. And there's also a time in my life where I was a surfer. That's a long time ago. Um, but also Deeves and I surfed together. Um, and when we started this, it was like, and this was I guess it would have been spring of this year. We were thinking like, well, soul surfers, like that's kind of a thing, right? So we could do that, and then like really quickly um, that kind of namespace filled up. There was a number of projects, which I think most of them are gone now, or very or laying low. Um, and then like Solana Surfers came out, so there's an NFT called Solana Surfers. It looks cool from what I can tell. I haven't dug in. Um, and so we were still kind of like we still like this surf culture, right? But maybe there's something more here. And then we really started thinking about like kind of the comic books and stuff we started reading. Early we were reading when we were young, and that was like X-Men and what are now movies like Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff. And there was a very like kind of like trippy cosmic space vibe back then in the comic books that we really liked. And we started to like kind of, and Deeps kind of started to like mix all these elements together. And that's where GROMs came out of. And they're kind of like, these, we call them like, they're kind of like surfers of the metaverse. And they, so I should say that like GROM is like it's a term that's used in surf culture for beginners or young surfers. And so we thought that was just like once Deeves like brought it up, it was just like it was that moment where like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. Because I like approach everything like with this like beginner mind, and I want our community to be the same way. And I want everybody to be welcome to ask the beginner questions that you're afraid to ask anywhere else. And so it just seemed natural, and they're also like the feeling of the word GROMs just feels like kind of gnarly and out there. So
No,
yeah,
it's a super cool idea. I didn't know that it's part of the surfer slang. Yeah, you should mention it somewhere on the website. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, we should.
Yeah, where we are, there's no ocean. There's just the sea, and trust me, there's no big waves in the sea that you can actually ride the surfboard.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long time for me. I'd probably go out and get myself hurt if I tried to do that.
uh, I noticed that on the traits that gender is actually a trait. What's the thought behind it? That seems very progressive. I love it. I have to say. I think that's a part. Is that the part of GROM's culture?
Yeah, we want to be as inclusive as we possibly can. Um, so we want people to, whether it's what they meant or they go find elsewhere, like we want people to try to find a GROM that they feel like represents some part of them, right? It's obviously not going to be the same because it's,
I think I
we
think
all
it's a
are kind
great
of
idea.
crazy. Yeah. So we wanted to be as inclusive as possible so that anybody could find a GROM that fits them, and I think that they will.
That's an awesome idea. I hope you set you know uh, an example, and other NFTs follow you, because lately kinda it gives that NFT mints are always male and kind of, you know at least that's what I've noticed. It's
Yeah, I
or,
mean, there's some
or
stuff
it's
in
very
like,
sexualized if it's female, and
right.
it just makes no sense, everybody should be represented in a 10,000 piece mint. I mean, it's plenty for everybody to be represented.
Exactly. Exactly.
Could you help me maybe, let help everybody understand what is the next step? Let's say we assume we have a successful mint, that the community is already formed, and it's colorful, and has lots of people, and it's alive. Uh, what's next? What excites you next? What's your next move? What would you like to do? And I'm not saying very far into the future. Maybe in a couple
Sure.
of weeks.
Yeah. Well, in the next couple of weeks, we're really gonna meet our community where they are and really double down on some educational paths, right? Um, and it's a tricky balance of finding people at various skill levels and various goals, and focus like finding something that works for the majority of them. So as we do that, those will, those will start to point towards some of the badging that we want to do. Initially, as long as like the GROMs Mint is open, we'll be able to incentivize some of these activities with GROMs themselves. I think that'll help us like distribute supply as well. Um, but yeah, on the very short term, it's going to be about learning and incentivizing that. On the medium term, it's, I think the two options that I'm really excited about are either building out a product that is built by the GROMs community, and I have a few ideas, but I also want the community to also think about these things and come up with their own ideas for us to decide on as a group. And then, you know, outside of that, we also want to consider I think probably one of these two paths that we'll take on first, right? Either the product, building a product with the Grom community, or potentially somebody comes, and we've already had a few people talk, bringing their own projects into the Groms community and helping them, whether it's match make teams or helping incubate, the way Grape has been very helpful in incubating us, and helping them find the resources to build or learn what they need to build. Yeah, those are the kind
I'm,
of short to
I'm,
medium term.
I have a huge smile from ear to ear, because I think I just understood, and it's you're light years ahead of everybody, man. Because what you're building here, in other words, is a decentralized startup.
Yeah.
Where
I mean,
you're inviting people to build by holding an NFT, and you're all gonna build something together. That's I think that's I don't know. I just understood it like clearly, and it's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
I really think it's like it's kind of uh, the university model, right? Where it's a place of learning. But the bigger universities, they is another big part of that is like research and development. Um, but it doesn't have to be a stodgy old university. It can be like a fun place to hang out online together, and people from all over the world get to collaborate and build something great together.
Pretty awesome, man. I think that's a great vision. Amazing.
Yeah, I need to find. I need to. I'm still working on honing that messaging. So thank you. This conversations like this are very helpful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It certainly is, and I'm understanding, and I'm just changing the number of mints I will personally do. So you're minting, everything is successful, and you have the community. I assume you're forming a DAO, which is going to what's the idea behind the DAO? Is it going to be involved in every aspect of the project? Is it going to direct the dictate the path? Uh, what's your vision about the DAO behind GROMs?
Yeah, we have a DAO on a roadmap, and I like to be upfront about these things. I'm a little torn on having a DAO on a roadmap. This is a conversation we had internally and with the Grom core team, um, because there's part of me that feels a DAO should, at its core, come out of the community, right? And that the Grom core team, like, they shouldn't necessarily be like, okay, all right, everybody go start a DAO, right? And this is what we want from the DAO. Well, that's not really a DAO, right? Um, so we're going to do everything we can, with the resources available for us to spin up the flywheel. And the community that shows up and helps us begin to build this will determine like what that DAO looks like. Long term, I want Groms to be completely my goal and my hope is that the Grom community is completely run by the DAO. Um, but I want to be like kind of as as unopinionated as I can about it because I want that DAO to be an expression of the community's will and not be like, well, Adam or the Grom core team said we got to go do this, so let's start a DAO and go do that, right?
I mean, you need a DAO for the DAO to vote itself out.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're planning on giving the ability to members to direct the course of the plan from day one, as I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, so there's not going to be any formal governance from day one. There will be is a lot of social interaction and discussions about what the long term direction of Groms is and how that transition of resources from the Grom core team moves over to the governance of the DAO. But I don't know, like I I know this isn't what people like to hear, right? But I don't know how long that's going to take. It's going to depend on a number of things, and it needs to be done in the right way. And so we're going to work from day one to be talking about DAOs and how they work, so that the people that show up know how to take on these responsibilities and guide and direct the DAO in a productive way that the community is excited about, not just myself and the rest of the Grom core team.
Yeah, and it's a slow process, and as the community grows, and if the community is rather large, then decisions delay, and it's really hard to reach consensus. So, if any plans to decentralize governance usually take longer than expected. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
I totally understand.
probably a good milestone that I have in mind is that the Grom core team has the Grom community, like leveraging the resources from that have been built with the Grom sale, like leveraging the resources from there. We've spun up the flywheel enough that the Groms project is self-sustainable, right? That there's a revenue model that generates more revenue enough that a DAO can come in, take governance of that, and guide that. What's the word? Extend the self-sustainability, but also grow that beyond into whatever like goals the DAO determines are important.
Awesome. Let's move a little bit to intellectual property. What are your thoughts? What are your plans with intellectual property? I think this is a question that I wouldn't have asked maybe 2-3 months ago, but now with what the geckos did, where they clearly state that the intellectual property does not belong to the NFT holder, but it belongs to the project. This is a new question now for NFT projects. What are your thoughts on that move, and what are your plans for GROMs?
Yeah, our plans are to have the IP belong to the holder. That just seems like kind of what makes sense to me. I don't so I don't know why. And let me be clear. I'm very like um I think the Geckos project is really cool, and I'm very much in awe of what they've created. So I don't know, and I'm not in the community, so I don't. I heard that this happened. I don't know what the reasoning was. I From the other things I've seen the Geckos team do, I assume there was a good reason behind it, but I can't. I don't know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't mean it as a negative point.
sure.
Kind of, I have a huge respect on the Geckos team. We
Hmm.
briefly chatted with the founder, and I found him a super serious and very, very well put guy that has a plan, and he knows what's going on. He's bold on his decision making, and very confident. Super bullish on the project, the community, and that guy specifically. Shout
Hmm.
out to him. But they clearly state, or if you go on their site and read their terms and conditions, that the IP does not belong to them. The reasoning doesn't matter. I think it's just two different paths, two completely different directions that an NFT project can take. Retain the intellectual property or not. I don't think
Yeah,
that it has pros and cons on every side.
yeah. I completely agree with you. I haven't interacted with the Geckos at all, but I have no doubt there's a good reason they decided to do that.
So if you could describe your target GROMs holder, who would it be?
So this is going to be a little, yeah. I'm gonna get a little conceptual here. I think there's a lot of us that come to crypto uh, very excited about the opportunity, and then we get here and we're kind of overwhelmed with everything going on. We don't know what to do. If you are looking for a way to partake in the Solana and larger crypto ecosystem, and kind of don't know what to do other than invest passively, Groms is the place for you because amongst our very specific initiatives of enabling builders and creators. To me, it's very I'm very personally passionate about everyone being able to really maximize their upside of this opportunity that's really once in a lifetime. So that's what I would say. If you're looking for a place where you can be more productive than maybe the way you feel now, or a place where you can be more focused, the Groms is the place for you.
Are you planning on targeting non-crypto people that would like maybe to make a start, somehow get involved? Do you have any plans on attracting those?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something I've thought about a lot. It feels daunting So I think what I've what I've thought about is finding these other channels, right? Like I think like in general, and GROMs is definitely um, guilty of this too. Is like we're all, like all these NFT projects, we're all um, swimming in the same seas. We're all looking for the same customers, and it's generally made up of crypto Twitter, right? So yeah, I definitely want to. I need to find a good sustainable path to do that because I think like the the typical way you'd go find customers outside of crypto Twitter in traditional markets is you'd go buy ads on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And I don't think one that those work, and two, like I don't want to be a part of those ecosystems in that way. But I think think other social avenues. I think are probably places we'll explore. The one thing I should touch on is that like the resources that we'll develop, the videos, the streams, those are going to be free to anyone, and anyone is welcome to come join the Groms Discord. There's going to be some advantages, like some closer mentorship and things like that, available to Grom holders, but largely everyone can participate. So I think putting that out there will be a big part of that for us. Um, being active on whether it's Twitch or YouTube with some coding streams and art streams, I think that will help us. And yeah, I think there's a lot of people sitting on Facebook that would be interested if we knew how to address them in an appropriate way. So it's on the roadmap, but I don't have any specifics yet.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see if I have any more questions. Let me go also over the live questions and go through the chats because unfortunately there's no application to aggregate all the chats from the various platforms. But while I'm looking, uh, would you be kind enough to give us some shout outs on some NFTs you consider important, beautiful, or valuable? What are the blue chip NFTs on Solana that you consider? Adam, unrelated to Groms.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, this is hard, right? Because like people, just like I'm happy to talk up Grape, like they're my friends. So it's like I should probably say that like and just put my bias up front is that like I've met people like strictly on Twitter that I'm friends with, and those typically like their projects tend to be what I'm most excited about. Clearly Chicken Tribe. I think we were all pretty excited about that. The art is really great there. Let me see. Like I'm trying to think. Like what are some kind of interesting ones? I think Desolates is really interesting. They're kind of they're kind of a what's the real estate one? um, Solsteads. They're kind of like a Solsteads in space. So they're interesting. Um, I'm trying to think of ones that are like maybe a little bit more obscure. Um, I so this one's not so obscure, and you've talked about it a lot, but I'll just like shout it out. Chris is Goblin Lab. I'm not in the Discord because it's so active and interesting that it's a big distraction, and I had to leave. But kind of the lore they're building around that is really intriguing. I wish if I wasn't building things, I'd be much more interested in that.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Love the art. Love the whole idea of creating your own lore. I've spent like a good 2 3 hours playing around with my goodie bags.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A couple of questions coming from the audience. This question is from Robin Guy. He's asking, do you have any plans on stopping any bots attacking the mint, or any intricate plans to make it smooth?
Yeah, I mean we're using Candy Machine, so it'll be a straight up mint Candy Machine that people are used to. We considered Fair Launch Protocol, but I think Fair Launch Protocol has its downsides unless you like know for sure you're like it's going to be a quick sellout. It's not, and it has other downsides of like charging uh, bidding fees, which I wasn't crazy about. Um, and then we're using robust like kind of Web2 infrastructure to make sure the front end stays up. So I guess like I'm less I just being realistic about things. I'm less concerned about like bots buying up a ton of our supply. Uh, I'm more concerned with like any type of like DDoS attack, which we've hardened ourselves against that with all the sorts of fun infrastructure stuff.
Another question is about will it be more than one mints allowed per wallet? Is there any
Yeah,
limitation?
no limitations per wallet.
Beautiful. And a question from Medivan about the educational content. Will be limited limited to Rust, limited to programming? Is it going to be a plain white canvas for everybody to pitch their ideas, to educate?
Yeah, so I mean, the educational content we've been doing has been Rust because one, I'm excited about it, and from my interaction with the community, people are the most excited about it. I think it's on the developer side, like JavaScript is probably going to be a big part as well because that's a really good language to start with as a beginner. Rust is tough. It's a tough language, and it takes a lot of time and effort and focus to master it. And then yeah, on the creator side, Deebs has his background is also as in addition to being a professional artist is also an educator. So we'll definitely be doing streams around creativity. I know. So he's like he's been he's actually worked in traditional formats, so physical media for the bulk of his career, and he kind of spun himself up using digital tools to create GROMs. So he learned a lot there. And I know he's also really excited about like 3D work with like Blender. I think he just opened the channels this week. So yeah, in addition to that, I want to start having like loose conversations around DAOs and governance and how to be good participants there. And yeah, but yeah, I'd love to have people come and teach their skills. Um, or if people want to take over, like teach JavaScript, like and we'll find ways to incentivize that as well. Um, we need to make sure it's not like a complete free for all where there's like 50 classes and 25 students, right? But yes, a big part of the long-term vision of GROM community is having all sorts of teachers teaching many skills that will help us build the open metaverse.
Another question coming from important member of the community, Starayush, that is very relevant considering what's going on in the pre-sale space that combine NFTs and coins. Are you planning on issuing any coins besides the NFTs? Maybe governance coins, or maybe fundraising coins, or whatever people use coins for.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident that the Grom core team will never launch a fungible coin. What it would be a perfectly reasonable thing to see happen would be that the DAO decides to do that. And what the DAO does will be at the whims of the community.
Wow,
So
adventurous, man. That's very
yeah,
adventurous. Imagine making plans and then DAO comes and just changes everything. Yeah, this is what happens.
yeah. I mean, just to be upfront, like the regulatory framework where I'm a resident of in the States is very fraught around fungible tokens. So um, it's not a business that I think that the Grom core team will seize ourselves partaking in the future. But again, the DAO is the DAO, and it does what it wants, right? And I can't stop or control that.
I love it. Love it. Yeah, things can change. DAO can vote you out. You never know.
Absolutely.
Can you maybe, I see Chris EK is asking a very relevant question about the rarities. It's going to be some traits being more rare, and there's going to be a single NFT which is the most rare, and we're going to see moon rank rarities and all these things. Should we expect some normal NFT like all the others we know, or is there anything special about GROMs?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be things that are more rare and not. What I'm really excited about is that uh, looking at things as we've gone through different generative tests is like the variability, like how all the GROMs look really different with all these different like traits. Personally, and this is kind of what I found to be my personal preference in NFTs is like I don't if I'm looking to buy an NFT, I don't always go for like, oh, what's the most rare I can get for my money, but like what is the one that I like the most? And I think we're going to see a lot of that with Groms. But absolutely, there's going to be some traits that are more rare than others. I, we've worked on some representation of that to be hosted on our site. It probably won't be ready for a little while. And then yeah, of course we're in the process of engaging I believe Moonrank first to make sure that that's available. But you know, those things may take some time, especially since you know, again, just being realistic, I don't know that the mint's gonna sell out immediately.
I mean, is there any plan that if you don't sell out immediately, anything changes in your plans, or if you sell out immediately, should we expect any changes in the roadmap or in your plans,
Yeah,
near
so
future plans at least?
if it sells out, not a lot's gonna, or if excuse me, if it doesn't sell out, not a lot's gonna change. We're gonna it's gonna stay open. We're not interested in burning Groms or anything like that because again, this is about inclusivity for you know people in the future that will find out about Groms and be able to come purchase. Um, and then if we sell it quickly, I think the only thing that would likely change on the roadmap is really just the timeline and the speed with which things happen. I think we'll be able to more quickly get that flywheel spun up that I was talking about earlier, such that Groms is like self-sustainable. You know, it has a revenue model that's self-sustainable, and then the DAO can overtake governance of it.
Awesome stuff, man. Really, really awesome. Love the art. I love your energy and the way you think. The way you approach everything. At least in my experience from interacting with you in the Grape server, I'm. You've covered all my questions and all the questions that I could source from the various platforms. If there is anything you want to share with the audience, with the grape community, or with anybody else, now it's the time. The stage is yours. And after that, I'm gonna switch seats with Dean Machine, who's sitting next to me and is carefully taking notes throughout our conversation. Not sure what he's writing. He just wants to say hi. So yeah, any announcements? Anything you want to tell the world?
I mean, all I want to say is like how immensely grateful I am. One to the great community, of course, and all the friends that I've made here, and especially to those that have come over to the Groms Discord and been active. I feel extremely fortunate to again, like we were saying earlier, to be in the place that I was at the time I was. That I've been able to make some connections with amazing people throughout this place, uh, and the support I've seen and I've received personally, and then also from Groms uh, or for Groms for this from this community is it makes me emotional. Like I'm really thankful, and that's the all I can say without getting too emotional about it. I feel very lucky, and I thank you, Chris, for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and I hope someday we get to share one of those nice beers, and I'll bring you one from the States.
Really, really, really looking forward to that. Trust me, man. I'm pretty sure we would vibe very well, and I'm sure we will make it
Yeah,
happen
that's
eventually. The
it.
world is very, very small. Distances are
um,
nothing in today's. Oh yeah, shit. I'm speaking without pressing my button, man. I'm very sure we're gonna make this happen. 100% sure, because distances are really nothing in today's world. We vibe super well, and I really look forward on sharing more than a couple of beers.
Sure.
And on that note, I'll of course super thank you for taking the time. Best of luck with the mint tomorrow. I know I'll be minting. I know some of my close friends will be minting, and yeah, I really hope everything works out in the end and it's smooth and it's a good adventure. I'll give my seat to Dean just for 2 minutes, just to say hi. Thank you so much again, man. I'm honored to have you here. You need to press control.
This one?
Yes.
Hey, Adam, how's it going, man?
Hey, Dean. It's good to hear you.
Likewise, brother. We're a bit more than 24 hours from the mint.
That's right.
How you feeling?
I'm trying to keep reminding myself that this is just the beginning, right? Like, this is exciting, and like, the GROM team has worked really hard, and the Grape team has worked incredibly hard to support us going into this day. But the thing that I keep having to tell myself is, like, this is just the beginning. And that's both amazing and scary, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and like it's been such a great experience working with you guys. The entire team, everybody's got such a great energy. Like there's a good flow, there's a good back and forth. It was a pleasure doing so much with you guys. You know, that's why I'm also looking forward to minting tomorrow, and also what this means to for Grape. You brought this idea, this concept. And it's just so in line with what we're trying to do. So I'm really excited. I feel like it's basically our NFT is being minted tomorrow. So yeah, much love, brother, and try to get some sleep because I know it's gonna be an insane 72 hours for you. So
Thank you. Thanks, Dean. Thanks for everything.
Take care.
Thank you, man. Thank you once again. Take care. Good night. Best of luck.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Let me on the stage. Say hi to the lovely people. Lovely people on the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Let me close the stage. Exit and end. Guys, once again, thank you so much. As always, this is not an endorsement, but consider that Grape is actually incubating this project, which means we have great respect for Adam, and he's been an asset for the Grape community, and we support his work. This, of course, doesn't mean that you should go spend your hard-earned money. This means nothing, so please do your research, understand, rewatch this thing that we just broadcasted. It's important, it had important information. If you are looking to flip, if we are looking to swipe for a team that swipes floor, if you're looking for something that will get you out of any financial troubles, maybe that's not the mint for you. Really, this was the founder of the project describing what the community he wants to have, the target holder for GROMs. He's a surfer, he's a coder, he knows what he's doing, he loves the Solana ethos, the Solana community. So it's something different. It's something different. It's not your classic PFP that you're looking for the rarest piece, and then you're asking when Magic Eden, when Solana Art, why is the floor dropping? We're talking about an 11,000 piece NFT, and a team that is targeting a social experience that includes a lot of education and many crypto adventures. So please consider those facts before you ape. And these are factors you need to consider on every NFT. It's not only about GROMs, it's about every NFT. You might be minting goblins, you might be minting apes, you might be minting dogs or foxes. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing always. Where do you think CRO is going? Man, that's such an irrelevant question to what we're talking. I have no clue. I'm not holding any CRO. I'm not saying it's about coin. I'm just saying I don't hold any, which means I don't know how to answer that. What else? What else? What else? We have so many things to talk about. In general, the AMA took longer than I planned. We vibe well with Adam. I was planning for a half an hour show. We exceeded an hour. Good planning. Not. Now we're gonna see each other in Tuesday. I might go. You never know, man. You never know. On Sunday I might come online just because I'm too used to it. But if not, we have to talk about a couple of things. I really want to talk about Olympus DAO. I really want to talk about the model of sticky liquidity. I really want you to be familiar with these new developments on the DeFi side. They call it DeFi 2. It has to do with altcoin bonds and locked liquidity. You can do it in the LP level. You can do it in the coin level. It's super interesting. It's super new. And guess what? This is some more alpha coming from Whale's Tales. It is being built on Solana as well. I don't want to give more information without the okay from the team. But it's a pretty new concept. Chris EK is saying that my streams are not on time. You know what's the issue, man? I don't know where you live, but we have this thing in Europe, dude. We have this stupid thing in Europe where we change the time from summertime to winter time. So during the summer, where I live, my time zone is UTC plus 3, and during the winter, where I live, is UTC plus 2. And I've dude, I always start at 9:30. It's local, 9:30 local, 7:30 UTC, 7:30, 19:30, 1930 UTC. I'm trying my best to be on time, man. Sometimes there are difficulties. Some things are out of my control. So I want us to talk about Olympus DAO and what these guys are building. I might have some. I might by then I might have the okay to talk about the team building it. What else? What else? What else? I need to talk about a couple of coins, maybe more in depth. I told you I bought Sol V and Sol C. We missed in. We never spoke about in. It pumped a lot. I'm sorry, we can't win everything. Some things we're going to miss. But if you actually bought into this amazing rocket pump called in, man, just apply it for the researcher. Join the channel. Give us the alpha. Help us find those gems as well. I feel weird for missing it. I usually don't miss this kind of gems. Missed this one. So yeah. What else are we going to do? I want us to talk about. Yeah, we need to talk about the stablecoin regulation. We need to talk about some US things. We need to talk about the EVM on Solana. But yeah, we're not going to do it today, guys. We're not going to do it today. We're going to do it next Tuesday, or maybe if there's an Ninja stream on Sunday. I can't promise the Sunday thing, but I will definitely promise the Tuesday. We're planning on a couple of AMAs. We're planning on Goose FX. We're planning on Unique Club. We're planning on... a couple more. Let me see. Let me take it on the other screen and see, because I keep on forgetting. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a chimp fight AMA. We're gonna do, yeah, the other one is not 100%. But yeah, lots of cool things are being planned. Stay tuned. Lots of events. Join the Grape Discord. And yeah, just get involved, guys. Solyard. We definitely need to talk about Solyard as well. Oh my god. On TMNX did post about it on Grape Alpha. Yeah, you are right, Butter for Soul. I even read about it, but I really gave no further attention. My bad, my bad, my bad. Again, TMNX is a superstar. He's everywhere. He knows his shit. If he drops a line, make sure to read it, follow it, and do your research. So I'm taking a note on Solyard. We definitely need to talk about Solyard. We need to talk about Apricot as well a little bit more. We need to understand a little bit its leveraged farming. Cool shit, guys. Cool shit. Cool shit. That's it from me. That's it from Whale's Friend. That's it from Whale's Tales, Dean Machine, and Adult Then Sold from GROMs. Best of luck to GROMs on tomorrow's mint. That's it, guys. That's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making me and my guest feel special. Ratos is sleeping right above me. Dean is great working right next to me. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you once again. I wish you a lovely night, and take care of yourselves. Be careful with this market. Don't do any weird moves. Don't sell all your portfolio. Don't spend all your USDC, T, or whatever to buy this thing. Don't catch any falling knives. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you're not shaken out from the game. Really, the only more important thing is to survive to trade another day. There is nothing more important than that. So please, no all-ins, no huge panics. Every night before you go to bed, consider that you're gonna wake up with a market that's going close to zero, and that's a possibility that's true every day, every night that you go to bed. So just execute your risk management in such way that if that happens, you just continue sleeping. You're not disturbed. Nothing changes in your life. So yeah, risk management, guys. Risk management, and make sure you're not shaken out. And on that note, I'm gonna wish you a beautiful night. Stay strong, stay green, stay beautiful.